Hi, I'm Mark Mazzaferro, Public Information Officer for the City of Vacaville, and this is a new episode of Center Stage at the Vacaville Performing Arts Theatre. It's a little different format this time because we have a new theater manager, and her name is Rachel Morgan, and we want to welcome Rachel to the Vacaville family and find out a little bit about her. So Rachel, thanks for spending some time with us today.
Thank you.
So let's just jump right into it. You're the new theater manager here in Vacaville, and tell us what that exactly entails.
I am the new theater manager. I started in February. I took over after Desiree Tinder left. I've been with Venue Tech for over a year now. The theater manager role encompasses quite a bit, everywhere from the first interaction with the client to wrapping up at the end of a show. So everything from bringing in rental clients to walking through the theater or seeing patrons. It's everything from start to finish of the show.
So I know your predecessor was, I don't want to say a ham, but she clearly had enjoyed being on the stage, and in fact was a performer herself, comedian. Do you have any kind of performance background at all, or are you straight management?
I don't. I like to sit behind the desk quite a bit more. So it will be interesting to announce these shows and kind of be up there in front of an audience. But I definitely look forward to it. It's great, and what we do at the theater is so great. So I'm learning. I'm learning to get on stage and be a little more comfortable.
Cool. Now tell us about the theater. It's a pretty nice venue, isn't it?
It is, and we've done quite a bit of renovations over the past few years, recently with new carpet and paint, so we're getting a facelift inside. I hope to have new seats within the next couple of years, so quite a bit. It's a beautiful facility. Just celebrated 20th anniversary last year, so we look forward to 20 more years.
So do you have any kind of musical talent or acting talent? I'm not going to let this go. Can you tell a joke? Can you sing a song? Can you play the piano? Anything?
I have no musical or theater background, but I will say my background's more in sports. I have my master's degree in sport management. I grew up playing sports, a family that comes from a bunch of boys that played a lot of sports. So I definitely have an interest in live entertainment, and that rolls over to the performing arts. It's all a show, whether it's an NFL football game or if it's Patty's Dance Studios summer performance. It's all a show.
Yeah.
So I definitely have the experience back there when you look at live entertainment. I just can't bust a tune or tap dance for the life of me.
Okay, so the announcement was just made about the upcoming season, and we've got some really great acts, so why don't you just run through who we've got. We've got Art Garfunkel, we've got Starship starring Mickey Thomas, we've got Gentleman's Rule, and Jim Brickman, and he's been here before, hasn't he?
He has.
So,
this will be his third year.
Yeah.
But let's start from the beginning. We kick off the 2014-15 season of shows with Starship starring Mickey Thomas. That'll be on November 7th. We look forward to bringing in the 70s and 80s classics, mega hits that we all know. We built this city, fooled around and fell in love. So I know a lot of our 80s fans are going to be excited about that. Quickly following, not even 2 weeks later, we have Art Garfunkel on November 16th. I think that's going to be a huge hit for Vacaville. One of the duo of Simon and Garfunkel, which we all know, will come in, and he'll be singing his classics, as well as he recently released a new CD displaying some of his favorite songs throughout the past 20 years. So we look forward to that. We start the spring with Gentleman's Rule, March 26th. This will be different to the theater stage. Fresh Faces, an a cappella group that brings an eclectic style concert. They take everything from classical music, 70s, 80s, top 40s, countries, and bring it all into one show. So we're really excited about this energetic, upbeat young group. Pretty cute guys. And then we end the season with Jim Brickman. It is his third time at the theater, but it's been a couple of years. So he's actually celebrating his 20th anniversary with the Platinum Tour. So he will also be coming in and celebrating some of his biggest hits, longest running Billboard adult contemporary artist. So it's always been a hit when he's come to Vacaville, and we look forward to having him at the end of May.
So I'm looking at his lineup, and immediately a couple of questions pop into my head. And in particular, I'm talking about Art Garfunkel and Jim. Do they have any backup guys, or is it just, are they just going to be out there with their guitar or a piano, or? Because it seems to me, if I was going to have a band, the fewer guys around, the better. You know
right,
what I mean?
Right.
And then you got Starship with Mickey Thomas. That's a bunch of guys, right? They all got to get paid, right? I mean, Does that, am I just talking out of my head, or am I onto something here?
Well, our show is definitely going to be similar to what our audiences saw with Smokey Robinson, a very intimate setting. He'll come on stage. We expect it to be a small band, if he does have one, with him, just coming out and singing his tunes. Like many of our fans saw with Smokey Robinson, he took questions, allowed the audience to ask for songs to be played, so we expect something very similar. Jim Brickman is known for his collaborations, but this will be just him and his piano, maybe a few background singers, but he will be the main star of the show. Excellent.
So, looks like a pretty good season.
I hope so. It looks great to us.
So what happens between, I think it's November 16th and March? Is that the gap? Are there, I mean, obviously the theater isn't closed. Tell us what goes on.
Well, we actually, that's our busiest time for our rental clients. November and December, it looks like right now we don't have a single weekend open other than Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we'll be filled with local artists, local performing arts, ballets, quite a bit. So while we may be in a down season for our bigger stars for the season, we'll have a weekend of everything throughout those 2 months.
And how do you line up these acts? You know, not so much the local folks, but the guys like Art Garfunkel and those groups. How do you? I mean, do you call them personally? Is it something VenueTech does? How does that work?
VenueTech takes care of that. Our senior vice president actually has an extensive background in booking, so she handles all the booking. We go through a process where we put together a committee. We've been meeting for a number of weeks before we nail down the season, and it's really a game of, these guys look good, let's throw an offer out and see what comes back. We put a lot of thought and process into this to make sure that we had a season that fit an audience of a variety. So it definitely is a much bigger process than you would imagine, but VenueTech does a great job of that.
Well, they've been doing a great job for us over the years. That's partly why they end up continuing to run the theater. People are pleased with the job they do, and it's a great venue. You know, I've been there for a few shows, both the big timers and the the little ones, and they all seem to be pretty well received either way. You know, I mean, the folks who come to see their child perform in a ballet versus a country western act or Garfunkel or whoever it might be. It's always, the house is always pretty full, if not completely sold out.
Yes.
So, and it's a beautiful venue, let's face it.
It is, absolutely.
So, anything else you want to add about your career or the theater, or what we can expect in the future?
Well, I'll take both of those. I'm excited to be the new theater manager. Coming close to a year, getting there soon. So I'm very excited to be a part of the city of Vacaville. I'm originally from South Carolina, so I've been here a couple of years, but it is really nice to be involved in the community, and this is a great outlet for it. But with the season, I'd like to let everyone know that season tickets go on sale tomorrow, September 16th. Individual tickets will be on sale October 7th. You can call the box office and they will take care of you.
And what's that number?
It's 707-469-4013.
And if they want more information, I'm sure there's a website, right?
There is, www.vpat.net.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for taking some time out of your day, Rachel. And we look forward to seeing you at the theater and seeing you next time on Center Stage at VPAT. Thanks for watching.